Well, back in 2018, the U.S. broke precedent with a lot of administrations by moving its embassy to Jerusalem, recognizing the ancient city as the capital of Israel. Well, since then, a number of other nations have followed suit, and more are being encouraged to do the same. Chris Mitchell brings us that story from Jerusalem.
Jerusalem is the undisputed, it is the undivided capital of the Jewish state of Israel.
U.S. Ambassador Mike Huckabee spoke at a recent ceremony recognizing nations relocating their embassies to Jerusalem. Since the U.S. paved the way 7 years ago, Guatemala, Honduras, Kosovo, Papua New Guinea, and Paraguay moved their embassies. Others are said to be in the planning stage.
Argentina, Czechia, Fiji, and other countries too. And we're working very hard together with the government as an NGO to persuade them and to encourage them. And I think the more embassies that move to Jerusalem, the better it is for Israel, the better it is for the West.
Chaim Silberstein, chairman of the Jerusalem Center for Applied Policy, started the group to identify challenges and seek opportunities for the capital city. He takes global policymakers through the city, explaining why Jerusalem matters.
The best way to understand the situation is to visualize it, to see it, to feel it. God has given us Jerusalem, and Jerusalem is always will be and always has been the capital of Israel. But the fact that countries come and recognize it as part of the real politics of the world is so important for us. And we need to strengthen that because we know that Israel and the Jewish people have many enemies around the world.
Silberstein says building and maintaining support has become more urgent since October 7th and the ongoing war.
The state of Israel has worked and is working very hard to harness all those countries that support Israel, because unfortunately there are many that have fallen to the fake news and the false propaganda of what's going on in the war.
Former Deputy Mayor Flor Hassan Nahum points to the city's iconic history.
Jerusalem is the city which is not just the capital of the state of Israel. It's not just the capital of the Jewish nation, but it is the city that made us a nation. 3,000 years ago, King David decided that he needed one united capital to unite the tribes of Israel. So Jerusalem is the place we became the indigenous people of this land. And so your recognition is not just historic, it is practical, and it is the reality that we have today.
In 1967, when Israel reclaimed the city after more than 2,000 years, it marked a profound, and many believe, prophetic turning point.
Back then, soldiers of the Israel Defense Forces fought their way through these ancient streets with trembling voices and tear-filled eyes. They declared, Har Habayit Be'adeinu. The Temple Mount is in our hands. Since that miraculous moment, Jerusalem has been rebuilt, renewed, and reopened to peoples of all faiths. Yet, though the armed struggle for Jerusalem was won 58 years ago, the diplomatic struggle still endures. Far too many nations still refuse to recognize this self-evident and fundamental fact that Jerusalem has always been and will forever remain the capital of the people of Israel.
Ambassador Huckabee recounted a sobering conversation he overheard during the ceremony for the U.S. Embassy relocation to Jerusalem.
The young American said, I've been so excited about this, moving our embassy to Jerusalem. I haven't slept in 2 nights. The elderly Jewish gentleman just looked at him and said, the Jews haven't slept in 2,000 years. And now they can sleep knowing that when we pray for the peace of Jerusalem, we are praying for the peace of the capital of the Jewish state, the undivided capital of the Jewish state.
Chris Mitchell, CBN News, Jerusalem.
Well, the eternal, undivided capital of Israel is Jerusalem. It's the place where Abraham offered Isaac. It's the place that King David established. It's the place that King Solomon built a temple. It's a place where God himself said, this is the place where I will put my name, my presence will be here. Jesus said 2,000 years ago that until Jerusalem is no longer trodden under the foot of the Gentiles, when the times of the Gentiles are fulfilled. And that happened 58 years ago in 1967. You can make a claim that the Temple Mount is still trodden under the foot of the Gentiles. There's the Temple Mount Authority, and it's actually illegal for Jews to pray on the Temple Mount. They can pray next to it at the Western Wall, but they can't pray on it. So you can still make a claim, well, that we've got another step to take. But it's wonderful to know this history, to realize that the incredible significance of the mountains of Moriah, the place where Abraham offered Isaac, the place of history of our faith, the place where Jesus offered himself. These are very significant events, eternal events, and Jerusalem, the eternal capital of Israel. If you want to know more about the history of the Six-Day War, we've got an easy way for you to do it. You can spend an hour and 49 minutes hearing the story of the Six-Day War from the point of view of the 55th paratroopers. They were the ones who took the Temple Mount, who broadcast to the world, the Temple Mount is in our hands. And we've got this in a wonderful documentary, In Our Hands, The Battle for Jerusalem. It's yours for a gift of any dollar amount. We'll send you a DVD copy of the CBN film so you can have a tangible piece of media that you can share. And you can also get instant streaming in 4K on the CBN Family app. To get your copy, In Our Hands, along with instant 4K streaming, just call us, 1-800-700-7000, or you can visit cbn.com/inourhands.